Hello, my name is Bryce and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Jacko Trades. Today's video is a sponsored video by xCool. It's actually our first sponsored video, but xCool reached out to us and they wanted to do a product review of one of their tools that they sell on Amazon and their company website. So they sent us a mini electric screwdriver to go ahead and try out and give our honest opinion of. xCool is a relatively new company that was launched in 2023. If you go to their Amazon website, I started browsing through their store and it's kind of all over the place. If I had to classify it, I'd probably consider it kind of home DIY gadgety tools. Not to say that they're not useful, but they are interesting, and they range from mini electric screwdrivers to laser levels to digital tape measures to Nixie tube clocks and even hair care products like hair dryers and whatnot. So the kit comes with a nice carrying case with a built-in charger. The driver has variable torque control, built-in lights. The kit comes with 48 bits. They're the 5/32 hex, I call them micro bits. And then it comes with some actually drill bits with round shanks. The tool is rated for 400 RPM and 0.1 Newton meters at its lowest setting. In the manual mode, it'll basically hold off up to 3 Newton meters, but for a tool this small, you're going to be hard pressed to try to actually hold 3 Newton meters without grabbing it with pliers. So that's more than enough for what the tool is designed for. In the video description, I'm going to go ahead and include a link to the Amazon store as well as the xCool company website. On Amazon, this product is going for $59.99 retail with a 25% off coupon. If that coupon does go away, I'm going to also include a discount code specific to our channel that will get you 10% off on the kit. I don't know if you can use the two coupons combined. I would say no. So right now the best deal is going to be with that 25% off coupon, so it should come in around 45 bucks for the driver. Alright, we're going to go ahead and flip the camera around now and see what comes in the kit and see how useful this tool is going to be for us. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, so this is actually my second time recording this video. I had problems with my video footage, so I'm redoing the recording, which means I've already opened this up, so just keep that in mind. So when you open up the kit, it comes with a box for the kit, and then there's a kind of auxiliary box here, and then you've got some instructions. In the auxiliary box, you've got your charger, which I actually have plugged in the wall right now, and it comes with a nice little pry tool and some flat-bladed tweezers. We open that up, and we got our kit. So it comes in a nice, heavy-duty aluminum case. I think what's kind of cool is that they charge through the case itself. Versus, I have this is my mini electric screwdriver that I bought a couple years ago, and it actually charges through the driver itself, whereas this guy charges through the case. That can be a plus or minus. The minus being if you have this tool kind of out and about, or if you ever lose the case, it'll be difficult to charge it. They do have contact ports there if you wanted to, but it would be challenging to charge this without the case. But I do like that they kind of, it is kind of interesting that they took the charging element out of the tool. Maybe they needed more room for the mechanics that go inside here. I don't know. So the kit comes with, as I said, 48 bits. So we've got drill bits ranging from 3mm down to 1.6mm. And as we flip it around, we have even smaller drill bits down. And these bits use 1/8 inch shanks, so you can also use an 1/8 inch drill bit or any other bits that use 1/8 inch shanks. We've got some extended bits here, 2 Phillips and 1 flathead. We've got some hex bits, Torx bits with the center pin. So these are security bits, star bits, a square, triangle, and these are all basically security bits. I don't know the official name, so I won't even try to name them. On the front side, we've got our Phillips bits, some more security bits, some flathead bits, and then our hex bits. The one bit that I would like to have seen in the kit that's missing is the 2.0mm. It basically jumps from 1.5 to 2.5 millimeters. So that 2.0mm is kind of a miss. It's not a deal breaker. I do have other micro bits, so if I need that 2mm, you can buy these separately, and you can just swap out one of these bits that you would probably not use and replace it with a 2mm bit. Another nice feature of the case is it has these magnetizer, demagnetizer. So if you're working with tiny screws, you might want to magnetize your bits so that you don't drop those screws in whatever you're assembling. That's kind of a cool feature. So right now we have it set up with our hex drive. Where those just pop in and they get retained with magnets. All the bits are retained in the case with magnets, so I can flip this upside down and over. And in theory, I won't lose anything. I lost my collet here because it is brass and it's non-magnetic. Usually that sits inside this adapter piece so that it doesn't fall out. And actually, I could probably flip that around so that never falls out. So it does come with 2 collets for those drills. This one, the spare collet's kind of floating, so I stick it on the drill bit so it doesn't fall out of the case. It's annoying when things are falling out of the case, so at least this way everything has a place and they don't fall out. Then if you want to run a drill bit, you unscrew this collar, you take the other collar, and there's symbols on these collars. One shows kind of a screw, the other shows what looks to be a drill bit. So we take the drill bit collar, we get a collet, insert that like so, and then we basically just feed that in there. And actually what would probably be easier is if you put the collet inside the driver and then put the collar on. Like so, kind of like a Dremel tool. Dremels are 1/8 inch, so any Dremel bit would work with this as well. Then you slide your drill bit in, it gets held in with a magnet, and then you tighten the collar to tighten that collet. Because it is a collet system, not a chuck, it only works with 1/8 inch bits. So all Dremel bits and then the bits that come with this, which is kind of clever. I will say this, I do in my other footage, which I'll try to use, I wanted to see what materials I could drill with these bits. I found that this drill doesn't have enough power to use the larger bits, the 3mm bits. It does fine with the smaller bits. I was able to drill into plastic, wood, and aluminum. So I think, you know, for doing kind of small things like, you know, if you need to drill a hole in a PCB or a piece of sheet metal, aluminum, or a little piece of wood or plastic, the smaller drill bits will do fine. I probably wouldn't go beyond 2mm in size though, because otherwise you're better off just grabbing a drill. The application of this kit, this tool and this kit is pretty specific in that you're not trying to replace something like this with something like this. Obviously by the form factor, there's a lot more juice and power coming out of this guy than there is this guy. So this is not going to be doing kind of self-tapping screws like on the RC car kits. You know, it's more for the smaller machine screw type stuff that you'll find in laptops, tablets, and phones and electronic devices, basically, that maybe you're swapping out a battery or a screen or whatever to repair it. This will be the kit that does that. So how do you run the tool? I think it's fairly intuitive and simple. It's basically got a backwards button and a forward button, and then we have a setting adjustment button on the back here. If you press the button on the back, it toggles the light on and off. And then if you hold it down, it gets you into the mode settings. So we got torque level 1. Oh, and if you wait too long, it goes out. So if we hold that button down, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and drill mode. For the stuff I do, I probably just want it at its full torque. So in 1 through 4, it'll turn off once it hits a specific torque, it stops. In drill mode, it just keeps going until the motor stalls. So I'm gonna leave it in drill mode because that's basically the most torque that I can get out of it. And we will pick a screwdriver bit that we're gonna use. I like the extended bits. So my daughter has a laptop where the battery is no longer taking a charge. I just actually discovered this today. It's funny how when their stuff breaks down, they don't really tell you. They just kind of work with it. Anyways, I found the battery, but I just want to confirm that it's the right battery for the laptop. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the battery out and verify it before I order that battery. So let's go ahead and get into the laptop. I've done this before where if you kind of let your finger drag on that collar, it unscrews the collar. So actually I should be taking the screws out so that I don't lose them. So So right now the tip is magnetized, so I can pull those screws out, which is kind of convenient. Alright, so the kit does come with a nice pry tool, and we're going to go ahead and use that to pop off this back cover. Alright, and there is the battery right there, and that has 1, 2, 3 screws. Let's go ahead and pop that off as well, since we know we're replacing it. Alright, there's our battery. Alright, so, in a couple of minutes we were able to pop out the battery in the laptop with this kit. We used all the features in the sense that the tweezers were useful, the pry bar was useful, the magnetized tip was useful. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and verify some of the claims on the tool. First I want to verify the RPM. And so if you read the instructions, it has a claimed RPM of 420 RPM. Let's go ahead and check that. Alright, so we got that little piece of reflective tape on there. We've got our tachometer. Let's go ahead and get a measurement. Look at that. It's almost right on the money. So we're measuring 420 RPM. Alright, so now that I've measured RPM, I'm going to go ahead and measure torque. The torque spec on this at its lowest setting is 0.1 Newton meters, and then it has a stall torque basically without the motor, using it as a manual driver, is rated at 3 Newton meters. So the tool torque is 0.1 Newton meters in soft. So let's go ahead and test that. I've already tested this, but this is kind of just some preamble before we show the calculations. So I'm going to take out the bit. I'm going to use a 5/32 Allen wrench as my lever arm, and I'm going to measure that on my digital scale. And this is very rudimentary, but I think this is a kind of little experiment demonstration that'll work. And so I want to measure the force created by my lever arm by the driver before it turns off. So we're going to turn this on. We're in grams. Then I'm going to just gently touch that so it's barely registering and hit it until it stalls. So we were at about 119 there. Let's try it again. That's about 100. 95. That's a try to reset so I can hold it. That peaked at 140 and dropped down. So I'm looking for the peak, because when the torque limiter, when it turns off the motor due to torque limit, it kind of wants to back drive. So it doesn't have a holding torque in that sense. So I'm kind of looking for the peak. That was 104. It was like 87. So let's say that it was 100. It was kind of anywhere from 87 up to 140. I'm going to go with 100 because that's what I did my calculations on. Our lever arm is 0.102 meters, and our force was 0.1 kilograms or 100 grams. And to get torque, you basically multiply lever arm times force. Actually, kilograms is not a force, it's a mass. So we take the 0.1 kilograms, multiply it by the acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.81 meters per second squared. Our force is 0.981 newtons, and then our torque ends up being about 0.100 newton meters, which is what this thing is rated at. So both RPM and torque meet specs, which is, it should be expected, but usually products are somewhat overrated in what they're capable of doing. So that's kind of a pleasant surprise that the specs actually meet the performance of the production tool. So in the description of the video, I've included links to the Amazon store where you can pick up one of these tools, as well as the company website where you can also order it. Right now on Amazon, these are retailing for $59.99. There is a 25% coupon at the moment, so that brings us down to about 45 bucks. And that concludes our review of this xCool mini electric screwdriver. This is our first sponsored video for the channel. Let me know what you thought and how it went in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in and watching. I'll catch you on the flip side. Take care. Bye.